dog got a Madden league. Your team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg, and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Hit dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Indianapolis Colts. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run. This is Kamara. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. Now he'll let it go deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leonard Floyd. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, there has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Colts' 44-yard line.
Ready. Pittsburgh. 51. Ricky.
To throw on 2nd down. Franklin, he'll take a shot for Davis to the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
93. Check. Block 54. Hey, defense, let's go. Mike's 54.
To throw his Carr. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Carr going to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your...
On 1st and 10, Franklin. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. It's been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Check 31. Check 31.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon.
Down. You ready? Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hand me. Whip. Watch the whip. Low. 10.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Off play action. Franklin sliding out of the pocket. And now he's going to use his left. And the ball is knocked out. And the Colts pick it up. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, Kamara. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Carr now on 1st down. Flushed out right. He'll run it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. 54.
On 2nd down, Kamara. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's Carr. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Franklin dancing to his left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Stafford. Forced out to his left. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. We're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Now the second down throw on target, finding room at the 30. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now a first down throw, Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
54, right there, 54, Mike. Hey, OP. He's checking.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They run it again with Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the Packers' 48-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, Carr. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
Down. Ready? Mark 54.
Hey, check.
Tight. Right, Chief.
From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And an alley to run. But he's into the clear. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. It's their quarterback. 97 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays, here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown of the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear in others.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Now it's Kamara in the passing game. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, we're good.
A give to Kamara running right. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Here's Carr to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll go for it. It's Carr. The open man is Smith. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. That one goes for 8 yards. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On 2nd and 10. Carr complete. Smith has it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Carr. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the 13-year man puts it through, and they are on the board. It's now 9-3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Let's go.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Touchdown, Packers! A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. Carr. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And a big loss here as he...
I can't spend the day with you, I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you, my color bright. I ain't finna fade with you, man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support bra, lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winter side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the win. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Grape colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.